Hi everyone. Well, it's that time of year again as we head to Warrnambool for one of the biggest racing carnivals in Victoria, and the greyhounds certainly aren't left out with the big cup happening this Wednesday night. It's worth $67,000, and James, I have a feeling you're very excited about this one.
Oh, I'm very excited about Warrnambool. Punters Club did well a few years ago down there, and I'm still reminiscing on that result.
I was going to say you have not let that go.
No, I haven't. I think it was about 2 years ago that we did well on the Punters Club. But no, the racing carnival, the greyhound carnival, it's massive at the first week of May each and every year, and I think racing enthusiasts would say this is probably the biggest racing carnival, provincial carnival in the world. It's massive. There'll be a massive crowd there, and I can't wait to see what plays out.
Well, let's get straight into it as we take a look at the tab odds and box draw. The fastest heat winner was Jimmy Neewob. He's the joint favourite with the superstar Striker Light at $3.50. And we certainly can't leave out the local dog in box one. That's Lightning Frank, and he's valued at $4.60 at the moment. What do you think about him?
I think he's a good price, Lightning Frank, in the sense that if he jumps as well as he did last week, he should go close. But let's get straight into this race book order for the Warrnambool Cup. Look, Lightning Frank, he went $24.94 in his heat, Ali. He was fantastic, but he did that from box number 8. This greyhound actually stood at stud for a small period last year. He's come back to the races, and I thought his heat win was as good as we've seen him go. He's won 6 races from box 8, only 2 from box number 1. Is that a little bit of concern with that pressure coming from out wide? Quite possibly.
Okay, box 2, ASTON Dinnigan, $15 into 13 already.
Yeah, so there's a good move with tab.com.au straight away. Look, this greyhound went up to Maitland. That Maitland Cup form, I think, is going to be pretty strong in this race. We saw ASTON Duke win that race. Look, ASTON Dinnigan was really good. Beast Unleashed led for home. He won the launching pad over the 500 metres, and ASTON Dinnigan was able to run over the top from box number 8, going 25.25. That's the concern, though. The time wasn't as quick as some of the others, so she's probably going to be up against it.
Okay, as we touched on in the box draw, Jimmy Neewob is the joint favourite at $3.50.
Yeah, look, I think he's just flying. Calgarino's got this greyhound going supremely well. He hasn't ran a bad race for a long time. He won the Horsham Cup. He's been beginning well. He went 24.87, fastest of the heat winners. If he does that, he's obviously a player.
Okay, what about ASTON Duke, valued at $8 at the moment in box 4?
He's an interesting runner, ASTON Duke, because he's a kind of greyhound that I think doesn't run breathtakingly fast times, but yet he finds himself always in a good position. We saw it in Sydney at Wentworth Park during the Easter Egg Carnival. We also saw him do that at Maitland, where he just pushed through at the start to win the Maitland Cup. And last week, worn down Nangar Warrior. Again, he's a greyhound that needs to go faster here.
All right, we talk a lot about Striker Light. She's $3.50. What do you think?
The watchdog in front of me here, the comment they make, amazing sprinter, versatile over this journey. I think that hits the nail right on the head. Training effort from Brett and Kelly Bravo regarding this greyhound I think was just phenomenal a couple of weeks ago. Raced in Perth on the Saturday night. 4 or 5 days later, makes the road trip to Warrnambool and wins the heat of the Cup in 24.92. She copped a little brush at the start. That was an enormous win, and I think she could be the one to beat.
Oh, all right. So we'll stay glued for that one. We move on to box 6, Black Mumbo, $12.
He's been around a long time, Black Mumbo, but he's still going very well. We saw that in the heat, 25.27. He did that from box 8, and 3 of the 7 heat winners actually came from box number 8. So that's an interesting stat going into this final. He's had 3 goes here from 2 wins, no placings, but I think I'd prefer him drawn on the paint.
Okay, and in box 7, Zipping Captain, you'd say is the outsider in this field at $21.
Yeah, look, $21. Look, if he gets a bit of luck early, he could be in the race. But look, he's the only greyhound not to have won his heat that qualified, being the second or the fastest second place getter in his heat. He went 25 flat himself, which puts him in about 4th or 5th time-wise going into this final. Box 7's going to be tough.
Okay, and finally in box 8, Zoom Out, $5 into $4.60.
Probably one of the fastest greyhounds in Australia once she hits the ground. She's not the best at beginners, but her second 50 metres is quite extraordinary. She went 25.04, but can she get around greyhounds like Striker Light, Jimmy Neewob at the start? I don't think so. Okay,
well, certainly an interesting field. I'm very intrigued to see your selections for the Warrnambool Cup.
Yeah, well, I think I gave it away a little bit just a moment ago. I am going with the superstar Striker Light on top. She's had 55 starts, 26 wins, 642,000 in prize money, and I think she'll be adding to that here. I've gone 5, 1, 3 and 4. I think she ticks every box. She's been leading uphill Jill consistently. Therefore, if she finds the front here, I just don't think they'll run her down. For second, I've gone with 1, Lightning Frank. He just needs needs to hold a spot early. If he can do that, I think the locals will get something to cheer about.
So you might have a bit of backlash with the locals at 2.
Yeah, well, they've got to be happy second. At least he's up there in the firing line. For third, I've gone the 3, Jimmy Neewab. Look, he's probably the one to beat in the sense if he begins as well as he did in the heat and he can hold Striker Light early, he's going to be really hard to get past. I thought there wasn't a great deal between that 3, and I've gone ASTON Duke in for 4th, number 4.
All right, and what about your $20 suggested bet, simplifying it for the punters?
Yeah, look, I'm going a Quinella this time, 1, 3 and 5 boxed. I think they're the 3 players in the race. I think the winner will come from that trio.
Okay, now, as we said, it's a huge night of greyhound racing, lots happening, and there's another race that you've got your eye on.
There is. There's about 4 or 5 great support card feature races on this program. The first race at 17 past 6, right through to race number 12. It's just great racing at Warrnambool. And look, I think we're opening up a new segment on this show, and it's the best bet on the program on a cup night. And I've gone with race 9, number 8, Burn Like Fire. Of course, she is reserve in the Warrnambool Cup. She goes to a special event back to $3.90. I think she's the best bet on the program. And the other reserve in the Warrnambool Cup, which is Raw Ability, he's number 10 in the Cup, will jump from box 2 in race number 6. That form, reserves in a Cup going into normal stock standard races, normally proves a winning formula. So follow those.
Okay, very interesting. I like that. Our best bet. Now, how have you gone recently? I hear Hillsville on the punch, you did quite well.
Yeah, I think I tipped 7 or 8 winners on Sunday just gone, and I think it was...
Because we want to give the punters a bit of incentive that you're doing well.
Sandown last Tuesday, Anzac Day Eve, I snuck home 8 out of the 12 winners, so I was happy there as well. So it's going well. And I think it's only going to get better here.
Absolutely. And you're going to be doing Punters Club at the Warrnambool Cup?
Punters Club. And we all know Warrnambool is a great stomping ground for the Punters Club.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a great night of greyhound racing this Wednesday night in Warrnambool. For all the best form guides, you can head online to grv.org.au.